Привіт, I'm Chuck Olinik. I'm a Ukrainian-American, baptized with the name Yaroslav, and that's the name I conveniently use in the Society for Creative Anachronism. Well, on my channel, I've been retelling Slavic tales, both the fairy tales, with the talking animals and stuff, the Skazka, and the byliny. That would be a hero tale. And in the previous video, I told part of the tale of Sweet Mikhailo the Rover, one of the Bogatiri who served Prince Volodymyr Brightson in Royal Kiev Town. And I realized I have more to tell about him. So, Sweet Mikhailo the Rover, Part 2. Who would tell us of the things of old, and of the things that have been, of Mikhailo, of that Mikhailo, of Mikhailo the son of Ivan, of Sweet Mikhailo the Rover. Sweet Mikhailo the Rover, son of Ivan, was a bogatir who served fair son Volodymyr and was a brother in arms to Ilya of Murom, the old Cossack, and to Dobrynya Nikitich. It was he who defeated the Black Host of Podolia and brought back 12 years of tribute and a writing of submission. It was he who bested Tsar Bukhar with guile and cunning and took half his realm. It was Sweet Mikhailo who wed Maria the White Swan, Princess of Podolia, and it was he who joined her in the grave for 3 months and forced a dragon to give him the waters of death and of life to restore his beloved to life. Great was the fame of this heroic young woman. This fame traveled throughout all lands and hordes. Never had such a beauty dwelt under the fair red sun. At the word of this fame came 40 tsars, kings, princes, khans, all demanding of Volodymyr, if fair son Prince Volodymyr yield not this heroic young woman without conflict or great battle and in goodwill, then we will destroy all Kiev town. Thereupon came Prince Volodymyr to Mikhailo. Sweet Mikhailo Rover, he said, destroy not Kiev, I pray thee, for the sake of one woman. Deliver up thy young heroic wife without conflict or great battle. Nay, fair son Prince Volodymyr, Sweet Mikhailo made answer, deliver up thine own fair Princess Apraxia, but my wife I will not give with my own good will. Then he disguised himself in woman's apparel, laid on his good steed his great battle sword, his sharp blade, and rode forth to the Sorochinsky mountains. When he was come near to those tsars and kings, he pitched a tent of fair linen, shook down fine white Turkish wheat before his good steed, and lay down to sleep. The tsars and princes sent an ambassador to inquire who had adventured so near them, and Mikhailo gave answer, Maria the White Swan hath come to wed with the 40 tsars, kings, and princes. Then all those royal suitors donned their richest raiment, mounted their best steeds, and rode to the pavilion of linen. Then Mikhailo, Sweet Mikhailo, dressed as Maria the White Swan, made answer, Foolish are ye 40 tsars, kings, princes, and khans. I cannot marry all. Grant me therefore to shoot arrows, and he who first returneth with one shall have me. To this they all agreed, and Mikhailo shot 40 arrows, some into the brushwood, some into the water. And was it a light task to find them? When the first Tsar fetched an arrow, Mikhailo struck off his head and hid it in the pavilion. And he did so again with the second and third, until all the suitors were slain. Not one of the 40 was left alive. Then Sweet Mikhailo rode back to Kiev town, and his brothers in arms met him there, but not his young heroic wife. Mikhailo inquired of them where she was, and they replied, Tsar Makrami came hither and carried off thy young wife to the Volhynian land. Forthwith rode Sweet Mikhailo in pursuit, eating not, drinking not, dismounting not from his good steed. When he came at last to Volhynia town, Maria espied him and came forth to greet him with a kovsh of the liquor of forgetfulness. "Ay, Sweet Mikhailo Rover," said Maria White Swan, "I can neither eat nor drink nor live without thee. But women's hair is long, her wits are short. Whither they lead us, there we must go. And Prince Volodymyr gave me against my will. But now drain a bowl of the liquor of health, and thou shalt be stronger than ever before, Rover." So Mikhailo drained that bowl of the wine of oblivion and fell senseless there. Then the White Swan went to Tsar Vakremi and spoke this word: "Ay, Tsar, do what thou wilt with this man who is as dead." But he spat in her eye. "One tree doth not make a dark forest, nor is one man a host on the open steppe." Nevertheless, she was distrustful, and took Sweet Mikhailo the Rover by his yellow curls, dragged him forth upon the open steppe, swung him about her head, and flung him over her shoulder. Where stood sweet Rover Mikhailo, there henceforth let a white stone stand. Let it fly over the earth for the space of 3 years, and after let it sink through the damp earth. And sweet Mikhailo was turned into a stone straightway. Back in royal Kiev town, his brothers in arms, remembering sweet Mikhailo, grew weary with longing for him, and said to each other, "Let us go, brothers, to the Volhynian land to ask after our brother, to find if he is slain or captive there." So they put on the garb of wandering pilgrims, took staves of 40 poods, and set forth. As they journeyed to the Volhynian land, an aged man came to meet them in the way and said, "Take me with you as your comrade." And they did so, and came to the land of Volhynia, to Tsar Vakremi. There they beat upon the earth with their staves of 40 poods and begged alms. The White Swan saw them from the little lattice window and perceived that 2 of the pilgrims were from royal Kiev town, and the third was a stranger. And she said, "I, Tsar Vakremi, summon these pilgrims into thy palace. Feed them, give them wine until they are well drunken, and gold at thy desire." So Tsar Vakremi called them in, and the Russian heroes inquired of Maria the White Swan where their brother at arms might be, Sweet Mikhailo Rover. "I grieve sore for Sweet Mikhailo the Rover," she made answer, "but I know not where he is." Then she gave them great ales and much food and drink, so that they were intoxicated and lay upon the floor senseless. But the aged man, the stranger, ate not, drank not, and when Maria the White Swan sent 12 knights to kill the pilgrims, that aged pilgrim brandished his staff and slew them all, leaving not one alive. When Tsar Vakremi saw that his whole kingdom could not stand against that one man, he pondered what his chances would be should the other 2 wake. So he went in haste to his deep vaults, took gold, silver, fair round pearls, and gave them to the pilgrims. The next morning the pilgrims set out for royal Kiev town. As they journeyed, they came to a stone, and the aged pilgrim said, "I must leave you, brothers. Let us divide our possessions on the stone." Then he began to part the alms into 4 lots, whereat Ilya could not restrain his restive heart, but spoke. "For whom is that 4th lot, stranger?" Said the wandering stranger, "It shall belong to him who shall raise this stone and cast it over his shoulder, so that, falling upon the damp earth, it shall burst asunder." Ilya of Murom sprang forward, grasped the stone, raised it to his knees, and then sank to his knees in the damp earth. "Is this the devil or God's might that is in this stone?" quoth he. Dobrina too failed to lift the stone, but the aged pilgrim, the stranger, put a little hand beneath the stone, raised it to his shoulder, and as he flung it, he conjured, "Breakstone, release Sweet Mikhailo the Rover." Out sprang Mikhailo, crying out, "Brothers, how long have I slept?" Then the aged pilgrim spoke. "Mikhailo, when thou art come to Kiev town, burn a candle to Saint Mykola. And fare ye well now, mighty Russian heroes. Pray to Mykola of Mozhansk, and he will raise you from the blue sea." Then he vanished, leaving the money with them, and they saw not whither he went. Rover Mikhailo took leave straightway of his brothers in arms, and returned to the land of Volhynia, and entered the spacious court of Tsar Vakremi, and shouted in a heroic voice. White Swan Maria heard that cry, and spoke to Tsar Vakremi. "My former husband is come," then ran out to Mikhailo with a bowl of wine. "Ay, sweet Mikhailo Rover," she said, "without my hero I cannot live. It was not I, but Tsar Vakremi, who imprisoned thee within that white and burning stone. But take now this bowl of wine in one hand, and empty it at a draught, and we will go to Kiev town to courteous Prince Volodymyr Brightson." Now Mikhailo was susceptible to wine and to woman's charms. He took the bowl and quaffed the liquor, and where he drank, there he fell down in a stupor. Then Maria, the white swan, seized him yet again by his yellow curls, but this time, instead of dragging him to the steps, she dragged him into a deep dungeon, and there made him fast to the wall with nails through his hands and feet. Yet a fifth nail for his heroic heart was lacking, and Maria ran off to the bazaar to buy one. While she was gone, Anna the Fair, sister to Tsar Vakremi, took a little serving maid and went to view the Russian hero, and as she looked, she loved. Mikhailo's stupor was already past, and he began to entreat her to set him free. "Take me for thy wife," she made answer, "and I will save thee from vain death." And he swore to her, "If thou wilt but save me, I will sever the turbulent head of Maria the White Swan, and take the golden crowns with thee." Then she drew out the spikes with her fingernails, took in haste a Tatar chosen for his stature, hair, and beauty, and fastened him to the wall in Mikhailo's stead, took sweet Mikhailo under her cloak of black sables, and led him across the spacious courtyard. Tsar Vakremi espied her and inquired, "What is beneath thy cloak?" "I took a little maid with me," she answered, "to view the Russian hero. She is frightened. I have her beneath my cloak, and am leading her to mine own chamber to comfort her." Now Maria the Swan returned with her nail, and perceived that it was a Tatar in the dungeon, and not her husband. When fair Anna had brought sweet Mikhailo to her lofty tower, she dressed his bleeding wounds with herbs for 3 months, and healed them, then asked, "Hast thou thy strength as of yore?" And sweet Mikhailo made answer, "If I had but my suit of mail, my great battle sword, and my good steed, I should not fear your Tsar Vakremi." "There was once a hero among us in past years," said Anna the Fair, "and to this day none in our kingdom can wear his armor, nor wield his brand, nor guide his good steed." Then Mikhailo told her what she must do, and she lay as though ailing, and sent word to Tsar Vakremi that someone should be sent to heal her. When the leech came, she said, "I slept and dreamed that if I might but don a coat of mail and ride a heroic steed over the open steppes, it would be well with me once more." So the good steed of that hero of past years was led forth, and Rover Mikhailo arrayed himself in woman's garb, laid the coat of mail upon the horse, grasped the bridle, and led him forth behind the city wall. There he put on the coat of mail, armed himself, his strength returning, and mounting, leaped the wall and came to Tsar Vakremi's palace. When White Swan Maria saw him, she said to Tsar Vakremi, "Lo, my former husband is alive again. Pour him a cup of green wine, and mingle the herb of sleep therein. This Vakremi did, and when Maria presented it to Rover Mikhailo, beseeching him to but drink of it and return with her to Kiev, he would have done her bidding. But fair Anna, who watched from the lattice window, shrieked in a piercing voice, "Drink not, sweet Mikhailo Rover. Remember thine oath. If you drink, you will lose yourself forever." Thereupon Mikhailo dashed the cup to the ground, drew his sword, cut off the head of Maria the White Swan. Vakremi he also would have slain, but his sister begged for his life. So he left Vakremi in possession of his kingdom, took the Princess Anna, the most fair, went to royal Kiev town, to courteous Prince Volodymyr. There they took the golden crowns and were wed, and lived in happiness. And Sweet Mikhailo Ivanovich the Rover built a church to Saint Mykola of Mozhask. It was at the feast I heard this tale. There it was, I drank mead ale. Though it flowed down my beard, my mouth stayed dry, for never a drop passed my lips, swear I.